my name is Curry Hanger, and I'm going to present a PowerPoint today about a little girl who has been diagnosed with an intellectual disability. This PowerPoint will also cover how the occupational therapy process will work to meet her needs. Meet Mary. Mary is an 11-year-old little girl who is diagnosed with Fragile X syndrome. Mary has a moderate intellectual disability. She requires assistance for her basic ADLs that include bathing, dressing, eating, and even using the toilet. Mary's family consists of herself and her 4 brothers, and a mom and dad that supports her. Mary also has signs of autism that include flapping her hands, minimal eye contact, and repetitive movements. Her behaviors often result in running in circles and biting and screaming during frustrated times. Mary has subtle facial dysmorphism, which includes a long face, wider set eyes, large ears, and a flat bridge of her nose. Mary's neurologic exams came back intact, and she is age appropriate with all of her gross motor skills. Mary's performance areas of strengths are that she is on track with all of her gross motor milestones. Mary also participates in a special education elementary classroom. She has strong sibling and parental relationships, and she has a lot of support by the people that loves her. Her areas of concern include a slower development in her communication. She does have difficulty in her academic learning skills. She has a reduced social skills and reduced social relationships with people outside her immediate family, and that she also does require supports for basic ADLs and instrumental ADLs. Mary's predictions for her future is that she has the capability to have strong relationships with her peers. We hope that she will also graduate from high school with a completed certificate, and that she might be able to learn a skilled trade. She might be able to learn ways that she can emotionally regulate and adapt for her cognitive deficits. Mary's underlying factors for her intellectual disability include the diagnosis of Fragile X syndrome, which also has a side effect of seizures. Mary also has poor eye contact, has a hyperactive behavioral state, and has a reduced ability to control and regulate her emotions. Mary's body functions, mental functions, and underlying client factors do have an impact on her access to occupations. The occupation areas of play, education, ADLs, IADLs, and social participation are all affected by Mary's diagnosis of intellectual disability. The model that has been selected to best see Mary is going to be the Person Environment Occupational Performance Model, or the PEOP, and the frames of references that has been selected to best address and form interventions for Mary would be the sensory integration frame of reference and the cognitive frame of reference. The first part of the occupational therapy process, or the OT process, would include selecting a model of practice to best see our clients. The model that has been selected to best see Mary would include the PEOP model. This model is best due to its balance of contextual factors. This is due to the context being so important to our clients with intellectual disabilities. The frame of reference is selected as a guide for our treatment interventions. Due to the fact that Mary has an intellectual disability, it is important to offer learning strategies to help Mary feel empowered and help develop solutions to perform occupations independently. And the cognitive frame of reference allows us to do just that. The sensory integration frame of reference is also a great tool for Mary due to her emotional deregulation. The sensory process of exposing Mary to more and more sensation or adaptive responses to those sensory inputs could give Mary the ability to regulate her emotions without an episode of biting or screaming or running in circles. It is important to also look at the client's areas of strengths and improvements to most meet the frame of reference and the models of practice. So Mary's strength of her family involvement and her gross motor skills can give us access to both sensory integration and cognitive learning strategies. This can improve her areas of weakness that are her areas of emotional regulation and her poor cognitive abilities. To summarize the term, intellectual disability stands for the reduced capacity to adapt, perform, and learn in social living skills. These deficits often impact quality of life. For Mary, her intellectual disability requires supports to everyday living activities, navigating new relationships, her role as a student in a classroom, and being able to balance or control her emotions. By using occupational therapy, models, and frames of reference, Mary can be offered the just right challenge and incorporate new adaptive techniques to better access her everyday occupations, thus improving Mary's quality of life. Thank you so much for listening to this PowerPoint about intellectual disability, our case study Mary, and how the OT process would start to work with a client like Mary. For anything else and for more information in regards to intellectual disabilities, please visit the American Association of Intellectual and Developmentally Disabled at www.aaIDD.org. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.